Steve, do you feel that the performance at Wrexham, even if you didn't get the results, does enable you to keep ticking along here?
Yeah, the performance at Wrexham was really good, wasn't it? You know, they're side that's up there for all the right reasons. It's interesting, there's the public comments that managers and players make, and there's the private conversations. And we know what was said to us as staff by the people at Wrexham after we left there, that the best team by a long distance didn't get in and out the game, but we also did that at Reading, didn't we? Best team by a long way. So you want to win games ultimately, whether you're playing well or you're not playing well, but normally they come after performances. So the performances, you know, to be at Leyton Orient, to play the way we did at Reading, to go to Wrexham and play the way we did, it speaks well for going forward with a certain amount of the group.
When you have games like you've had this year, where you feel like we should have had something from this game and you haven't, what's the way to turn that so that you make sure that you do get something from those games? What is missing in those moments, do you think?
Yeah, I think a bit of quality in certain areas of the pitch. I don't think we doubt that. I think we've said, I'm reading what the Tottenham Hotspur side have gone through with injuries, and we've almost been very similar. Absolutely huge players for us that have been missing for long periods of time. That's been a problem. But I've never been one to talk about injured and make it excuses, because we have to focus on the boys we got, and maybe some of the boys we've had to put in at certain times have not been able to have the form or the performances that others have. So we'll sort that going forward, but in between times we have an opportunity to win some games between now and the end of the season, an opportunity for one or two lads to say they should be here and not elsewhere.
Who has impressed you though? Who has maybe put their hand up in the last few weeks to say, I'm a core player at Rotherham United?
I think there's a number of players. I think we can't go by the likes of Odoffin, who's been exceptional. Rafferty, until he get injured, has been really good for us. I don't think you can go by Panzo in the middle of the park along with Joe Pearl. Pearlie was inconsistent or poor last week. We set plays and deliveries, but over the piece, the kid's been terrific for us. So there's lots in there that we hope to build on and add to, and there's some that's been disappointing, but they don't want to have disappointing form. But I think a lot of players have to get into a run of consecutive games before they can produce their best form. And normally the best teams you see are very much a consistency in team selection, where we've had to change in big areas.
Is there any update on Odoffin and his contract and anything like that?
No, listen, I've got a meeting with the chairman this afternoon. They know my plans with Axe. I actually had the nod from the chairman to have a chat with Axe myself, and we had a good chat in the office yesterday. We're clear we'd like to make him part of what we're doing going forward as a management team. And it was nice to hear that he's clear that he's loved every minute playing for us. So he would like to endorse that. So it'll come down, as always it does, with players you want to keep and players that have options as to whether we can do something.
Are these tricky moments? Because it feels like when players have options, that's when they sort of think, I just want to see what those options are sometimes, and then it can become quite competitive, can't it?
Yeah, I know. He'll either sign or he'll go. We won't be going beyond a week or two from the end of the season saying, is Hack's going to rejoin or stay at Rotherham United? He'll either sign or he won't sign. We have to want players that want to be here. Simple. We have to want to be here. If their head's getting turned, get turned elsewhere. You know, we have to have players that want to be here.
It's been an eventful week in League One, and two other Yorkshire clubs in this division have parted ways with their manager, and they've only been in charge for less than a season. How difficult is being a football manager these days?
I think both decisions are different, aren't they? I think if you look at the Huddersfield decision, I think that's bore on what they spent in the January window. I think if you're going to spend the best part of £3.5 to £4 million, you can't go and lose 7 or 8 games out of 9. It just doesn't happen. And it's particularly if you've got no relationship above of any previous knowledge of success with that owner or board. So I think the decision at Huddersfield, and I have no knowledge of this, but from a distance it probably looks like they spent big investment, Michael was bought into that, and then it's not been delivered on the pitch. That can be the only calculation. I think just shortly up the road with Darrow is particularly harsh. I think we're starting to read snippets of players of some of the things that Darrow's been asked to manage, very similar to here. But I've been aware of them because obviously I speak to Darryl, and not only in the games we play, but we speak away from it. I think that decision was particularly harsh, but football is a harsh world, isn't it? Unless you're Fergie down at Posh, there's no one safe from where you are in league positions, and he deserves to be safe because he is the most successful manager that Posh have ever had.
You've been a manager for a long time, though. Do you feel things have changed? Because it does seem like now the average will be something ridiculous, like managers get 8 months or something like that, or a year, to have success, and then it's on to the next one.
Yeah, I think the job has changed in terms of the demands. I've said it for the best part of a couple of years now, that it's gone from being a real buzz when you win and a high and going home with your family and happy and want to have a glass of wine or want to go and see the grandkids or whatever it is, to relief, where you almost go home and sit in a bedroom or put the telly on and it's just relief. So I think every manager's now facing that, unless you're the elite. So from that point of view, the game has changed, and the patience of young people today, whether it's supporters, whether it's owners, is very much different from the patience that was there 5 years ago, and never mind going back any further than that.
Injury-wise, any news, anything to update the fans?
Well, we've got Zach Jones, who was on the grass yesterday. We'll see whether Zach can come through a full training session today. If there's any doubt in that, he'll miss, and we'll focus for him on Tuesday. Everyone else that was out there at Wrexham is back available to us.
And what about your next opponent? They've picked up a bit, haven't they? I was chatting to a couple of their fans recently, and they were saying, it's not good, but they've won since then. So what's it like playing a team that have seemingly just turned it around? Yeah,
I think they come here with a freedom to play. I think maybe if they didn't get the last couple of 2 or 3 positive results that they've had, of course I watched them at first hand on Tuesday. They were very good. Listening to the words of the people at Mansfield, was it a really extremely poor performance from Mansfield Town? Yes, it was. I'm sitting there as a neutral. Yes, it was as poor as described by the staff at Mansfield. On the other side of that was Exeter very good in spells. Yes, they were. The big boy up front, Miganski's an exceptional base to which to build from. Look at wee Mitchell running off him, playing with 2 10s, long throws into the box. They've changed their style, they've changed their identity by trying to get results from overplaying to have a good balance. And I think over the piece, Kelly's done a good job.
Just checking, Liam Kelly's come through this week.
Yeah, Liam's fine. Liam will be in the match day squad.
You've got some decent midfield options, haven't you? Because Joe Rafferty back, which frees up Sean McWilliams from midfield.
Yeah, for me, there's a player that typifies. I think I should have mentioned him to Rob, is Sean McWilliams. I think I've seen him play right back many times. So to put him there, he actually was outstanding for spells. And it was interesting. I thought he was really good in that last, when we moved Raf forward for that 5 minutes plus added time at Wrexham, 12 minutes or whatever it was, until we moved him into midfield. He's a real driving force then, so it's good to have Sean. But we do have good options. Louis Sibley's trained really well this week, which is good.
Yeah. Could you be adding Dan Gore to those options soon?
Well, he's coming to a game tomorrow.
Is he?
Dan, and you can have no problem people saying that. So he's here with his dad tomorrow. He's progressing. His words, he's progressing well. But again, we'll be guided by Manchester United, make sure everybody's right. But I'd just be keen to let our supporters see the player that we worked so hard to get, and we've missed out on, sadly, for the last 6 weeks.
Would you still expect him back by the end of this month?
Yeah, I think we're hopeful seeing April football. I think the Man United staff, I've spoken to medical staff and said they'd be hopeful to see him playing football in April. So, and the fact that he's a young man that is a person you can't fail to like, you met him, you can't fail to like him, then it's really, really pleased to get a little message from him saying, can he come?
How is it being back involved at Rotherham United?
It's been good, I come back and I was carrying a little knock, and I just said to myself, like, whatever happens when I'm back fit, I just give it everything and have a good attitude, and whatever comes of it, and it's gone in the right direction, which I'm happy about, and long may it continue, really.
Is there a really great incentive between now and the end of the season to finish strongly, to have an impact, and really shape your future, potentially here?
Yeah, definitely. I've been here, in the summer it'll be 9 years since I moved over, so the club means a lot to me anyway, so I'd love to, keep it going, But first things first, just got to see out the rest of the season and get as many minutes and make as much of an impact as I can.
How challenging has it been at times when you get opportunities and then there's setbacks? And how does that test you mentally as well as physically?
No one really understands it unless you've been through it. It's been a tough 2.5 years. Like, I don't think anyone could really get what I've been through personally. It's been hard, but I've got good people around me to help me get through the tough times. So, even thinking back on it is a bit crazy because, like, you go through stages where you're like, oh yeah, I'm finally getting there, and then I could do my shoulder again and I'm out for 4.5 months, and then you get back to it and then you're like, oh, I'll do my quad again, I'm out for 5 months, but then you get the whole injury prone tag and whatnot, and then it's like, no one really understands what's going on. But like I said, if you have good people around you, you can get through anything in life. So.
Because these are not usual injuries, are they?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like
Freak accidents, yeah.
Sometimes players get injuries and they reoccur and it does become a problem. But what you're describing here, they're not the typical injuries that
no,
the
they're
players
just all
get.
freak accidents. So from the outside looking in, if you don't really understand what's going on, you'd think, oh, the kid's injury prone. But like I said, it's just things that would never usually happen to the next player beside you, but just a bit unlucky really, that's all it is. And now that I'm back fully fit and coming on and showing everybody what I can do, I'm just want to keep it going really.
I suppose people don't really get that side of football because this is your life, isn't it? This is your career, and you'll have grown up dreaming of professional football, of scoring goals, having an impact, and then to be prevented from doing it through accidents, misfortune, that must just be so frustrating in the career sense, but also tough to handle because it's what you want to do, it's what you love doing, playing football.
Most definitely. I've had this conversation with my dad so many times because, like, there's been times when I've just been like, oh, do you know what, just pack it in. I just can't. For some reason, it just keeps happening over and over again, and it's just about having mental strength, really. And like I said, without my mum, my dad, my little brother, don't know what where I'd be right now. But I've even like packed in like Twitter and all of that because we're footballers. We do go on and we do look at it sometimes, and you're just like, if only you knew what was really going on. But like I said, that's all over and done with now, and I'm just looking forward to what's next and these next 10, 11 games and helping the team out.
Do you take any inspiration, because there are players who've gone on and played for England and stuff like this, who've maybe had setbacks earlier in their career and they've been late bloomers, haven't they, and they've gone on to reach the highest level of the game. Does that give you some belief? Yeah,
of course. Where do I begin? There's loads of players at the top level, and my dad always used Danny Welbeck as an example because he had torrid time with injuries, and he's still playing the Premier League now in mid-30s or something. So listen, everyone's journey is different. I'm on my own unique one at the minute, and I'm just gonna make it work whatever way I can.
What's the ideal for you between now and the end of the season? Is it just to play as much as possible? Have you set any kind of, I'd love to get a few goals here, and what do you think the future holds beyond this season for you? Do you give that any thought at the minute?
I did when I first got into the team and started playing some minutes, but now I'm just want to enjoy myself really. I haven't enjoyed football in so long that I just want to enjoy myself now, and I feel like if I do enjoy myself, everything else takes care of itself because I'm not thinking too much and I'm just going on and having fun and playing well, and like I said, whatever happens after that, it's down to the club, down to the board, down to the gaffer. But I feel like if I give a good account of myself on the pitch, then it can only go one way, really.
Well, that's the best interview a player has done at any of our clubs this season, so wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
I don't want to dwell on injuries because I've very much dealt with in the past, but can you remember a particular low point up to the last 2 years, you know?
It's time at Carlisle. Nothing against the club. Everyone knows I love the club, but I think I had re-injured my calf like 3 times in the space of a month. I'm living in Carlisle, miles away. Family are miles away, and yeah, I was just alone really, and had to deal with it by myself. And yeah, that wasn't great, but. Yeah, man, kudos to my dad, because he's always, my mum and dad are always there, my little brother's always there. So.
Yeah, nice one. You talked about mental strength. I know you quite well, and I've talked to you in the past about, I think you handle setbacks really, really well. I get more wound up about you being out than you do. You know what I mean? It's important how you deal with that kind of situation, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because you can go down a really dark hole, and we're only human at the end of the day, so it does affect us, but I couldn't even tell you the different things I've had to do to like deal with, you know, breaking down and thinking all sorts of things. But my family have just always been there for me, and yeah, man, hats off to them, because I come in every day and everyone sees me. I've always got a smile on my face, and you wouldn't think that, oh wait, he's gone through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.